Hello, dear friend. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Tonight we're going to settle in together by the fire. Can you hear it? The soft crackle, the gentle pop of glowing embers, the warmth that reaches out and wraps itself around you like the most tender embrace. Let yourself sink a little deeper now, into your pillow, into this moment. There is nowhere else you need to be, nothing you need to do. The day is done and the night is here to hold you. Tonight, I want to take you back to the very beginning, to the first 7 days when the voice of God moved over the deep and brought forth light and life and rest. This is an ancient story, a true story, a story that has been told beside fires like this one for thousands of years. And tonight, it's for you. So breathe in slowly and let it out. Feel the warmth of the fire on your face. And let us begin at the very beginning. Before we journey through these 7 days together, I want you to know something. You are safe here. Whatever brought you to this moment, whatever weight you've been carrying, whatever worries have followed you into the night, you can set them down now. Right here, by this fire. Let them rest outside the circle of this warm light. They will wait for you if you need them, but tonight you don't have to hold them anymore. The story we're about to enter is older than any worry you've ever known. It's the foundation beneath all things. It's the song that was sung before any other song. And in this story, you'll find your place. You'll remember that you were thought of, cared for, planned for, from the very first word God spoke into the void. So settle in a little more. Adjust your blankets. Feel the weight of them, the softness. Let your body grow heavy. Let your breathing slow. We have all the time in the world. There's no rushing here, no hurrying, just the gentle unfolding of the most beautiful story ever told. In the beginning there was darkness, not the frightening kind, not the lonely kind, but a deep, deep stillness, a quiet so profound that it held all possibility within it. The earth was formless, void, and the Spirit of God moved gently, tenderly over the waters. Try to picture this with me, not emptiness, but fullness waiting to be revealed. Not absence, but presence in its most patient form. The Spirit of God, like a mother bird hovering over her nest, brooding over the deep waters with infinite care. There was no chaos here, no fear, only the sacred pause before the first note of the symphony. The waters were dark and deep, stretching in every direction without end. And they were still, perfectly still, waiting, listening. The whole universe held its breath. if you can imagine such a thing. Everything that would ever be was there in that moment, wrapped in potential, held in the mind of God. And then God spoke. Let there be light. And there was light. Can you imagine it? The very first light. Not harsh, not glaring, but soft, like the glow of dawn breaking over still water. It didn't explode into being. It didn't shatter the darkness. It simply was, as if it had always been waiting for this moment to arrive, as if the darkness itself had been holding space for it. The darkness did not vanish. It remained, but now it had a companion. Light and darkness woven together in a rhythm. Evening and morning, a gentle pulse, the very first heartbeat of creation. This wasn't a battle between light and dark, it was a dance, a conversation, a partnership ordained from the very beginning. And God saw the light, and it was good. Rest in that goodness now. Let it wash over you. The very first thing God made was good, not perfect in some distant, untouchable way, but good, deeply, truly, fundamentally good. And so are you. You are made from this same goodness. You are woven from this same light. Think about what it means that light was first. Before the sun, before the moon, before the stars that would come later, there was light. God's light. Uncreated light. The kind of light that doesn't depend on any source but God Himself. This is the light that still shines in every darkness. This is the light that finds you, even now, in the quietest hour of the night. The light didn't need permission to shine. It didn't question whether it was worthy. It simply received its purpose from the voice of God and became exactly what it was called to be, fully itself, fully present, fully good. And in that first separation of light from darkness, God established something profound. He established time. He established rhythm. He established the pattern that your own body still follows, the need for wakefulness and rest, for activity and stillness, for giving and receiving. This rhythm is built into the very fabric of existence. It's not something you have to create or maintain. It's simply there, like your heartbeat, like the tide, like the turning of the earth you're resting on right now. On the second day, God spoke again. His voice moved across the waters, and He made a space, a wide, open expanse. He separated the waters above from the waters below and called this beautiful space the sky. Imagine it now, the heavens stretching out, endless, vast, a soft blue dome arching over the deep, and beneath it the whisper of wind beginning to move, the very first breeze, cool and clean, carrying nothing but peace. The sky is a gift, a shelter, a cathedral of air and light. God made room for breath, room for clouds to drift lazily by, room for storms to pass and for calm to return. Before this moment, there was no space between. Everything was together, undifferentiated. But God, in his wisdom, made separation. Not the kind that divides and isolates, but the kind that creates space for relationship, space for movement, space for life to unfold. Think about the sky above you right now, even though you cannot see it in the darkness. It's there. It's been there since the second day. The same sky that has arched over every human who has ever lived. The same sky that covered the garden. The same sky that stretched above the patriarchs and the prophets. The same sky that opened when Jesus was baptized. The same sky you'll wake up to tomorrow. The expanse that God created wasn't just physical. It was a space for possibility. A space where prayers could rise like incense. A space where birds would someday fly. A space where clouds would gather and rain would fall to water the earth. A space between heaven and earth, but also a space that connected them, a threshold, a meeting place, and the waters above held in place by nothing but the Word of God. They remained there, faithful, obedient, a testimony to the power of that voice that spoke them into position. Even now, when you look up at the clouds, you're seeing water suspended in air, held aloft by forces we understand only in part, but which God commanded on the second day. Breathe in that sky now. Let your lungs fill with it, slow and steady. You are held beneath that same sky, the one God made with a word. Every breath you take is a gift from the second day. The air that fills your lungs right now has been circulating in this space God created, carried by winds he set in motion, part of a system so elegant and so complex that scientists still discover new wonders in it. You are breathing creation. With every inhale, you're drawing in molecules that have been part of this world since the beginning. You're participating in a cycle that predates you by billions of years and will continue long after you. And yet, this breath, this particular breath right now, is yours. It's your gift, your moment in the great turning of life. And evening came, and morning came. The second day. On the third day, God gathered the waters, He drew them together into seas and let the dry land appear. The earth rose up, firm and solid, dark soil, rich and heavy, the kind that holds roots and remembers rain. Can you feel it? The ground beneath you, steady, reliable, a foundation you can rest upon. God made the earth, and it was good. The waters, which had covered everything, now pulled back. Obedient to the voice of God, they gathered themselves into seas, into oceans, into the deep places. And as they drew away, the land emerged. Mountains pushed up from beneath, valleys took shape, plains stretched out, flat and welcoming. Coastlines formed, those beautiful places where water meets land and they kiss each other with foam and waves. The earth itself is ancient, the rocks beneath your feet, beneath your home, beneath the layers of concrete and wood and human making. Those rocks remember the third day. They were there when the waters first receded. They felt the first touch of air and light. They have held their position faithfully ever since, providing the foundation for everything that would come after. But he wasn't finished. God spoke again, and the earth began to answer. Slowly, gently, green things pushed up through the soil. Grass, soft as a whisper, plants reaching toward the light, trees stretching their branches wide, their roots going deep, deep down into the good earth. This is the first time in the creation story that God invited something else to participate in creation. He spoke to the earth, and the earth responded. Let the earth bring forth, he said, and it did. The earth had this capacity within it all along, waiting for the command. The potential for life was woven into the soil itself. Can you imagine the first blade of grass? So small, so tender, pushing through the dark earth toward the light. It somehow knew was there. No one had taught it to grow. No one had shown it the way. But it knew. It knew because God had put that knowing deep within it. The knowledge of how to reach, how to unfold, how to become what it was meant to be. And then the trees, oh, the trees, some small and delicate, some massive and strong, trees that would someday provide shade for travelers, trees that would give fruit to the hungry, trees that would become homes for birds and shelter for animals, trees that would stand for hundreds, even thousands of years, silent witnesses to the unfolding story of creation. There were seeds now, tiny promises tucked into fruit, life making more life, cycles of growth and harvest and rest. The earth was no longer bare. It was clothed in green. It was abundant. It was good. Think about what this means. God could have made each plant individually, one by one, placing them where he wanted them. But instead, he gave plants the gift of reproduction, the gift of continuation. each plant carrying within it the seeds of its own future, each tree bearing fruit that contained the blueprint for a whole forest. This is generosity beyond measure. This is trust. God trusted his creation to continue itself. He built sustainability into the very fabric of life. The plants didn't need him to speak them into existence every day. They had what they needed within themselves to continue, to spread, to multiply. And they've been doing exactly that ever since the third day. The grass you've walked on, the trees you've rested under, the flowers you've stopped to admire, the vegetables you've eaten, the herbs that have healed you. All of them are descendants of that first green pushing up through the soil on the third day. All of them carry the same calling: to grow, to reach toward the light, to bear fruit, to scatter seeds, to continue the gift of life. Let your body rest on this good earth now. Let it hold you. You are planted here. You belong here. Just as the trees send their roots deep into the soil, you too are rooted in this place God has made. You too are called to grow, to reach toward the light, to bear fruit in your own season. And you too carry within you seeds of possibility, gifts that are meant to be shared, life that is meant to continue through you in ways you may never fully see. And evening came, and morning came, the third day. The earth was no longer formless. It had shape now, contour, texture. It had places to explore and discover. It had beauty that invited wonder, and it was ready, so ready for what would come next. On the fourth day, God turned his attention to the heavens once more. He made lights, great lights to govern the day and the night. The sun, bright and golden, pouring warmth and life across the earth. And the moon, pale and faithful, keeping watch through the quiet hours. Now, this is something wonderful to consider. Light was created on the first day, but the sun wasn't made until the fourth day. For 3 days, the earth knew light without knowing the sun. This tells us something important. It tells us that God himself was the source of that first light. His presence illuminated everything. The sun is just a carrier of light, a vessel, a gift. But God is light itself. Still, what a gift the sun is. Rising every morning without fail, pouring its warmth across the turning earth, waking the flowers, warming the soil, drawing water up from the ground to form clouds that will bring rain. The sun is the heartbeat of our daily life. We set our schedules by it. We feel our energy rise and fall with it. We mark our years by its journey through the sky. And the moon, the gentle moon, it doesn't create its own light, but reflects the light of the sun. It pulls the tides with invisible threads of gravity. It marks the months. It lights the night for travelers. It's been a companion to every person who has ever looked up at the night sky and wondered about their place in the universe. The sun rises, the sun sets, a rhythm you can count on, a pattern woven into the fabric of time, and scattered across the night sky, stars, countless stars, each one placed with care, each one burning with purpose. Scientists tell us there are more stars in the universe than grains of sand on all the beaches of Earth. Can you fathom that? Each one a sun in its own right, each one burning with nuclear fire, each one placed by God's hand. He knows them all by name, the psalmist tells us. He calls them each out, and not one is missing. These lights marked the seasons, they marked the days and the years, they gave order to time, they gave beauty to the night. Before calendars, before clocks, before any human system of tracking time, there were the lights in the sky. Faithful, constant, true. Look up now, in your mind's eye. See the stars above you, distant, gentle, faithful. They have been burning since the fourth day, and they are burning still tonight as you rest. The same stars that guided sailors, the same stars that Abraham looked at when God promised his descendants would be as numerous as the stars. The same stars that shone over Bethlehem, the same stars that will shine tomorrow night and the night after that. You are held in this vast universe. You are a small part of something unimaginably large, and yet you are not lost in it. You are not insignificant. The same God who set the stars in their courses knows you, knows your name, knows the number of hairs on your head, knows what you need before you ask. You are held in his attention the same way those stars are held in their positions. Not by force, but by love, not by obligation, but by purpose. And God saw that it was good. These faithful lights, these markers of time, these beautiful ornaments in the sky, all of it good, all of it meant to be, all of it part of the intricate web of relationships that make up creation. Evening came, and morning came, the fourth day. And now the earth had not only shape and life, but also time, measurable time, seasons that would turn, days that would pass, years that would accumulate. The story was unfolding exactly as it was meant to. On the fifth day, the world began to move. God spoke to the waters, and they filled with life, fish darting through the deep, whales gliding slow and graceful through the blue, creatures great and small, swimming and swirling and dancing through the seas. Until this moment, everything had been still. The earth was full and rich and beautiful, but it was quiet. The plants grew, but they didn't move. The mountains stood, but they didn't walk. The waters flowed, but they were empty of anything that could swim. But on the fifth day, creation became dynamic. It became active. It became, in a new way, alive. The waters teemed. That's the word Scripture uses. Teemed, filled to overflowing, abundant beyond measure. Fish of every shape and size, some that lived in the shallows where the light filtered through, some that dove to the darkest depths where no light had ever reached, some that traveled in schools, moving together like one organism, some that wandered alone through the vastness of the ocean, and the great creatures, the whales, the dolphins, the mighty sea creatures that inspired awe and wonder. God made them all on this day, each one unique, each one bearing the mark of its Creator's imagination, each one perfectly suited to its home in the water. Think about the dolphin leaping through the waves, playing for the sheer joy of it. Think about the sea turtle, ancient and wise, swimming through currents that cross entire oceans. Think about the tiny seahorse, delicate and strange and wonderful, all of them children of the fifth day, all of them recipients of God's blessing. And the skies came alive with wings, birds soaring high, their songs echoing across the morning, the flutter of feathers, the call and response of creation waking up. Can you hear them? The birds. In your mind, let yourself hear the first bird song, clear and sweet and new. No bird had ever sung before this moment. No wing had ever cut through air. But on the fifth day, the sky became a highway of flight. Eagles soaring on thermals, hummingbirds hovering at flowers, geese flying in formation, sparrows hopping from branch to branch, each bird with its own song, each one with its own way of flying. Some built elaborate nests, some laid their eggs on bare rock, some migrated thousands of miles with the changing seasons, some stayed in one place their whole lives. All of this variety, all of this creativity, all of this abundance, spoken into being on the fifth day, God blessed them. He said, "Be fruitful, multiply, fill the seas and the skies," and they did. They do still. Life, abundant and joyful, moving and singing and being, all of it good. This was the first blessing spoken over creation. The first time God said to something, "Be fruitful, multiply." He was giving them not just life, but the capacity to continue life. He was inviting them into partnership with him in the ongoing work of creation. He was saying, I've made you, and you are good, and now I'm giving you the power to make more good things. This blessing still echoes. Every egg that hatches, every fish that spawns, every bird that feeds its young, they're all living out this original blessing from the fifth day. They're all participating in God's creative work. They're all saying yes to the first command: be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth. You are part of this chorus, dear one. Your breath is part of the song. Rest in that now. You belong to this living, breathing world. You are not separate from it. You are woven into it. The calcium in your bones came from ancient stars. The water in your body has been cycling through the earth since the third day. The air you breathe has been in the lungs of birds and the gills of fish. You are connected to all of this. You are part of the great family of creation. And evening came, and morning came, the fifth day. The world was no longer silent. It was full of song and movement. It was full of life expressing itself in 1,000 different ways. It was very, very good. On the sixth day, God filled the land with life. Animals of every kind, cattle grazing in green fields, creatures creeping through the underbrush, wild things running free beneath the open sky, each one unique, each one exactly as it was meant to be. The fish had the seas, the birds had the skies, and now, on the sixth day, the land received its inhabitants. The earth, which had been patiently producing its green plants and trees, now became home to creatures who would eat those plants, who would live among those trees, who would walk on that good soil. God made the livestock, the gentle cattle and sheep and goats, animals that would someday partner with humanity, providing milk and wool and companionship. Even now, on this sixth day before humanity existed, God was preparing gifts for them. He was thinking ahead, planning, providing. He made the creatures that creep along the ground, the insects with their intricate wings, the spiders with their impossible webs, the ants with their ordered societies, the beetles and butterflies and bees, each one small, but each one essential, each one a tiny miracle of engineering and beauty. He made the wild animals, the lions and bears and wolves, the deer and rabbits and foxes, the elephants and giraffes and zebras, the power and dignity of wild things, living according to their nature, following instincts placed within them by their Creator. And then God paused. He said, "Let us make humanity in our image, in our likeness." This is different from all that came before. God didn't speak to the earth this time. He spoke to himself. He said, Let us make. There was deliberation here, intention, a divine counsel. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit in perfect unity, agreeing together to create something new, something that would bear their image. And so God formed the first human from the dust of the ground, carefully, lovingly. He breathed into them the breath of life, and they became a living soul. Think about this. God could have spoken humanity into existence the way he spoke everything else into being. He could have said, "Let there be humans," and there would have been, but he didn't. Instead, he got down in the dust. He formed and shaped with his own hands. He was intimate and involved in a way he hadn't been with anything else. He took dust, ordinary earth, the same stuff that covered the ground, and he shaped it into a form, and then he bent down, close, so close, and he breathed his own breath into that form, and it came alive, not just physically alive, but spiritually alive, a living soul, a being capable of relationship with God himself. Male and female he made them, in the image of God, both of them image bearers, both of them essential, both of them good, not one more than the other, not one before the other in importance. Together they reflected the image of God more fully than either could alone. They were blessed, given purpose, given the garden, given one another, given the gift of relationship with the Creator himself. They were told to be fruitful and multiply, just like the fish and the birds. They were given stewardship over the earth and all its creatures. They were placed in the garden God had planted, a place of perfect provision and beauty. God looked at all he had made, the light and the dark, the seas and the skies, the green earth and the living creatures, and humanity made in his image. And he saw that it was very good. Not just good, very good. Everything working together, everything in harmony, everything in its place and fulfilling its purpose. The whole creation singing in perfect chorus. And at the center of it, humanity, created to know God and be known by him, to walk with him in the cool of the day, to tend the garden and care for creation, to live in peace with each other and with all living things. You, dear one, are part of that goodness. You are made in the image of God, breathed into being, loved from the very first moment. Whatever has happened since, whatever has been broken or lost or twisted, this truth remains. You bear the image of God. You are made from dust and divine breath. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are very good. And evening came, and morning came. The sixth day. Creation was complete. Everything was in place. Everything was ready. And it was time for the most important day of all. And now we come to the seventh day. The work was finished. The creation was complete. Everything that needed to be made had been made, and it was good. It was very good. And so God rested, not because he was tired. God doesn't grow weary. He doesn't need sleep. His energy doesn't run out, but because the work was done, finished, complete. There was nothing left to make, nothing left to create. The time for working had passed. The time for resting had come. He blessed the seventh day. He made it holy. He set it apart as a day of rest. This is the only day God blessed before anything happened on it. He blessed the fish and the birds and humanity, but he blessed them after he made them. The seventh day was blessed before it began. God looked at this day of rest and said, "This is holy, this is sacred, this is set apart." The word holy means set apart, different, special. God made the seventh day different from all the other days. It wasn't a day for making, it was a day for being, not for doing, but for enjoying, not for working, but for celebrating. It was a day to step back and look at everything that had been made and simply delight in it. This is the gift he gives to you tonight. Rest. True rest. The kind that comes not from exhaustion, but from completion, from knowing that it is enough, that you are enough. In our world, we often think rest is something we earn. We work hard all week, and then we rest because we've earned it. But that's not how God designed it. He rested not because he had earned it, but because the work was complete. He rested from a place of satisfaction, not depletion. He rested as an act of trust, declaring that what he had made was good enough to be left as it was. You don't have to earn your rest tonight. You don't have to finish everything on your list. You don't have to prove your worth. You can rest because rest itself is holy. Because God himself modeled it for you on the seventh day. Because you are made in his image, and part of bearing that image is resting the way he rests. God is not anxious. He is not hurried. He does not pace or worry through the night. He rests, and he invites you to rest with him. Think about what it means that God rested. He wasn't tired, yet he stopped working. He didn't need to rest, yet he chose to. Why? Perhaps to show us something essential about the rhythm of life. Perhaps to teach us that our worth isn't found in our productivity. Perhaps to demonstrate that there is a time for everything, and the time for rest is just as important as the time for work. When God rested on the seventh day, he was saying, "This is enough. What I have made is enough. I don't need to keep making more. I don't need to improve on it or add to it. It is complete. It is good." And now I will simply enjoy it. Let go now. Let go of the day behind you. Let go of the day ahead. Let go of the need to do or fix or prove. You are held. You are seen. You are loved. The fire is warm. The night is kind. And the God who made the stars is watching over you. He's not watching you with judgment or criticism. He's not keeping a list of your failures. He's watching you the way a parent watches a sleeping child, with tenderness, with protection, with delight. You are his creation, made by his hands, breathed into life by his breath. And he looked at you just as he looked at everything else he made, and he said, "Very good." That hasn't changed. Whatever you've done or left undone, whatever you think disqualifies you, God's assessment stands. You are very good. Rest now, beloved. Rest in the Sabbath peace of the seventh day. Rest in the knowledge that the work is done. Not your work. You'll never be done with all your work. But God's work. The work of creating you, of loving you, of establishing your worth and value. That work was finished long ago. You don't have to earn what you already have. You don't have to prove what has already been declared. The seventh day is a day of trust. Trust that the work is complete. Trust that what has been made is good. Trust that rest is not laziness, but wisdom. Trust that God's got this, that he's got you, that you can let go and fall asleep, and the world will still be here in the morning. The sun will still rise on the fourth day. The birds will still sing their songs from the fifth day. The earth will still hold you with the strength of the third day. Everything continues. Everything holds, not because of your effort, but because of God's faithfulness. He set everything in motion, and it continues by his power. You can rest because he is not resting. He is holding all things together by the word of his power, even while he invites you into the Sabbath rest. And so we close tonight with this gentle truth. The same God who spoke light into darkness, who separated the seas and filled the skies, who formed you with his own hands and called you very good. That same God is with you now. He has not left you. He will not leave you. He promised this, and his promises are as faithful as the sunrise, as constant as the stars, as sure as the ground beneath you. You are not alone in the night. You are not abandoned to your worries or your fears. You are held in the same hands that shaped the mountains. You are loved with the same love that set the stars in place. And just as he rested on the seventh day, he invites you into that rest tonight. Not just physical rest, though your body needs that, but soul rest, spirit rest, the kind of rest that comes from knowing you are safe, you are loved, you are enough. The 7 days of creation tell us something profound about God. They tell us He is creative beyond measure, that He delights in beauty and variety and abundance, that He thinks of everything and provides for everything, that He works with intention and purpose, that He calls what He makes good, and that He knows when to stop, when to rest, when to simply enjoy what has been made. These 7 days also tell us something about ourselves. We are part of this creation. We are made from the dust of the 3rd day and the breath of God. We are blessed like the fish and the birds. We are given purpose and dignity. We are created for relationship with each other and with God. And we are invited into rest, into the holy rhythm of work and Sabbath, of striving and surrendering, of doing and being. Tonight, as you drift towards sleep, remember that you are held in a story that began before you were born and will continue after you're gone. You are a thread in a tapestry that stretches from the first day to the last. You are part of something vast and beautiful and good. The fire is burning low now. The embers glow softly in the darkness. The warmth surrounds you like an embrace. And the voice that spoke the universe into existence whispers over you tonight. You are mine. You are loved. You are very good. So sleep now, dear one. Sleep deeply. Sleep safely. The God of all creation is near. The same God who never sleeps is keeping watch over you. You can close your eyes